Indeed, a very important conference that kicked start earlier today. To shed more light about the two-day Egypt-EU investment conference in El Manara Center, we are very much delighted to be joined over the phone by Mr. Raouf Gaffar, our economic expert. Mr. Gaffar, good afternoon to you, sir. Hello.
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 Yes.
Hello, Mr. Gaffar. How are you, sir?
How are you?
Mr. Gaffar, earlier today, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi inaugurated the Egyptian EU Investment Conference that kicked start earlier today by the President and with the participation of EU Commissioner Ursula von der Leyen. How do you see the significance of such a conference which is taking place today and tomorrow in Cairo?
Means that Europe has confidence in Egyptian economy, that they are willing to give a hand to help in our development. It means that we are moving into another dimension of the relation between Egypt and the European Union, more strategic, deeper, and more diversified. This is the essence of having this meeting now here.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
We have seen they have given us through the European Bank for Investment hundreds of millions of euros to sort of consolidate and to support the private sector in Egypt to start and implement different projects. They are providing once again all the what the Egyptian companies need from the European Union as far as technology is concerned, as far as cooperation is concerned, to, as I say, to improve the quality of the Egyptian industry and products.
Yes. Actually, Mr. Gaffar, the two-day conference is seen unleashing Egypt's potential in a rapidly changing world, which is coming on all eyes on the investment opportunities Egypt is expected to showcase during the event. What's your take on that, sir?
Well, I mean, we have gone through a lot of reforms helping our country to prepare itself for incoming investors. We have a very solid infrastructure that allows any investor to come and invest and make money. This has been the effort undertaken over the last years. We represent a lot of very good potential and opportunities for investors to come.
Yes.
Especially that we are moving recently now towards the new era of energy. I mean, we're talking hydrogen, we're talking nitrogen, we're talking all kinds of clean, environmental friendly type of energies. And this is very appealing to the whole world, particularly to Europeans, to come and invest and join hands in this.
Yes. Sir, also one of the sessions of the conference is going to tackle the measures implemented, the reform measures, actually the economic reform measures implemented by Egypt to create an attractive investment for the private sector. How do you see here the efforts exerted so far by the government in order to, and the reforms in order to attract and engage the private sector more into the Egyptian economy and the investment world?
Private sector should represent at least 70 to 80% of the future development of the country. Therefore, we have the government has to provide them with all what they need. I mean, we have seen some legislation change or be modified to the better, to offer better conditions for the investors. We have seen some economic potential zones prepared again for the investors. We have seen a lot of government movements to offer all the services at the place of the investor. I'm talking Egyptian private sector. Through it's all integrated through the Haya Karima. Once again, the government provides all the agencies and services and financing right where the investor is. He doesn't have to move to make his project, but the government moves to him. And this again increases the opportunities and increases the number of investors that should profit from such initiatives. As you mentioned earlier, this conference comes very much to enhance the role of the private sector in the development of the economy. We have seen, as I say, hundreds of millions of euros pouring into the private sector in Egypt to push towards increase of production, which leads, of course, to a better economy.
Yes. Also today, in his speech before the inaugural session of the conference, President Sisi stressed on the strategic partnership between Egypt and the European Union, and he highlighted the most important 6 pillars with the investment 6 axis being at the forefront as the two sides committed to enhancing cooperation in the different economic sectors. How do you see these axes that the President highlighted in his speech for the cooperation between Egypt and the EU?
Well, he was simply emphasizing on what is happening. I mean, we have been in close contact through the last years with Europe particularly. They are interested to come and invest here. We have spoken and we have signed agreements and accords. Actually, this conference will see the signature of a lot of new agreements regarding the repatriation of industry, regarding the use of European technology and funds to cooperate in the production of a lot of things. I mean, I can mention automotive, for instance. This is one topic that is highly regarded, and I think we should see in the very near future huge cooperation between Egypt and Europe in this endeavor. I add, of course, as I mentioned earlier, the direction towards clean energy and the investment in the different kinds of clean energy projects. And once again, this is the future, and we are moving very quickly towards it.
Yes. So as you have kindly mentioned that these fields of cooperation are including the trade, the energy, the infrastructure, sustainable development, transportation, agriculture, food security, as well as digital transformation, water security, and the small and medium and micro enterprises. How do you see these fields of cooperation between Egypt and the EU, and why these special axes of cooperation in particular from your point of view?
I mean, you mentioned practically everything.
Yes.
You mentioned from energy to industry to agriculture. They are all aiming from one side to try and reach self-satisfaction as far as food is concerned by increasing the production of agricultural products that leads to that, transforming these products into semi-finished or even finished products to add value and to improve the economy by exporting it. And you've mentioned industry. As you said, we have a lot of endeavors on the way in different kinds of industries. And I mean, we are as I mentioned
Yes.
in my first minute, I said we are moving into a new era as far as the relation between Egypt and Europe is concerned, and having such conferences from time to time, as I say, this is a stamp of confidence.
Yes.
In our economy, and we should, as I say, in the very near future, see that the private sector will benefit a lot from such cooperation.
Yes. Mr. Gaffar, we have to shed light here on the timing of this conference, with the participation, of course, of the EU Commissioner Ursula von der Leyen and representatives from the EU. How do you see the timing of hosting this conference in Egypt, and what message here it is giving to the world and the investors worldwide?
It means that, once again, Europe, financial institutions in Europe, they sense that Egypt is on the right direction. We have gone through, as you said, a lot of reforms. We are now on the economic and the financial side getting better by the day, and this represents a very lucrative environment for investors to come in and join hands with us in the future. So the timing comes right after we make a very positive move, actually, from the economic and financial standpoint. And as we said earlier, we have everything ready. We have infrastructure ready to sustain any project. We are calling for development, for sustainable development, and this will come mainly through the implementation of micro and mini small projects for the small investors. And this is how the economy is built. I mean, on the shoulders of small investors, especially in a country that is heavily populated as ours. We have a very important resource, which is the human resource. We have to bank on it. We have to exploit it to the maximum, because this is the pillar on which we will build our economy.
Yes. Mr. Gaffar, also in his inaugural speech before the conference today, President Sisi said that the conference comes at a very critical timing in light of the successive regional and international crises that are causing multiple challenges and economic burdens on all countries worldwide. How do you see these very alarming challenges that the President was talking about, and how Egypt can overcome these challenges, which is not only affecting Egypt but the whole world, as the President mentioned?
I mean, thanks to our President and our present regime, we are away from the events that are happening around us. We are, I mean, at least the world sees us as not only an important country that is playing a big role in spreading peace and security around us, but they also see us as an oasis of peace in the middle of the turmoil that is happening around us. And this, once again, adds to the advantage that we have, and it attracts more and more investors to come, because all they need is a serene environment, is a peaceful environment, and this is exactly, thank God, that we have, and we expect, inshallah,
God's will. Finally, Mr. Gaffar, Minister Said, during her talks in the panel today, said that the assessment of any reform program must coincide with regional and the global development. To what extent we can overcome the regional challenges and the international challenges, and give a clear message to the international investors that we are proper and fertile ground for proper investments. What incentives and positive messages we could give to the investors about Egypt and its climate for investment?
First of all, you mentioned the Minister of Planning.
Yes.
And we have an excellent plan for the coming not only 5 or 10 years, we can go up to 2050 maybe.
Yes.
So this again makes the people confident that we are studying our future well, we are planning for our future the best way possible.
Yes.
We are now, as I say, exploiting all the resources available in spite of all the challenges that surround us, and we are opening new markets, whether in Africa or elsewhere, just to show the world that we are here and we can play a big economic role in not only the area, but also in the continent and in the whole world.
Indeed. Mr. Raouf Gaffar, our economic expert, thank you so much for being with us and for your precious input. Always a pleasure, sir.